Well, yesterday was the last day when it comes to BDC recap. The Central Bank of Nigeria gave that deadline for operators. Officially expired yesterday, prompting renewed appeals from industry stakeholders. We know there was a meeting yesterday, and we did try to get the president of the BDC, Mr. Gwadabe, yesterday, but the network was really terrible. But thank God we do have him physically in the studio today. So we have the President, Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe. Mr. Gwadabe, good morning and good to have you in the studio.
Good morning. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Great. So
and I apologize for yesterday hiccup.
Well, I mean, you made up for it coming to the studio today. So tell us about this recap. We know the central bank gave it, and at some point we heard it's a threat to jobs and all of that. But what's the situation? Yesterday was the expiration, and today is supposed to be a new beginning.
Well, first I want to extend our congratulations to the Civilian Governor for the award winning of the Central Bank, African Central Bank Governor of the Year. So we congratulate him. And also, to begin with, is all about reforms. Reforms are measures to ensure that there is kind of transformation. So when the Central Bank Governor announced the guidelines in 2024, it came with a lot of requirements. Financial, corporate governance, compliance. In terms of financial requirements, it has been increased from 35 million to 500 million for Tier 1, a quantum job, you know, and then from also 35 million to 2 billion naira for Tier 1. The categorization is Tier 1. We operate at the national level, having branches in all over the state and Abuja, while the Tier 2 will remain as a state-level operations. So that is in terms of capitalization. And also it came with AML CFT. It came with a lot of documentation, ranging from net worth, ranging from police non-indebtedness, confirmation of signature, verification of capital, a lot, before you can get the new license. Yes, like you said, yesterday was the supposed deadline. It was an atmosphere of sadness for our own members, because from reliable sources, our members that have complied are not even more than 5%. So we are talking about maybe 75 bureau de change out of 1,613 bureau de change. So it's a far cry. In terms of compliance, the compliance is very slow. And this has to do with the minimum requirement. 500 million naira is a huge jump. It's not easy to come by. And BDC is just like a bookshop. Sometimes to even find investors to come and say, what is happening in BDC that I can come and bring 500 million, you know? We are not money takers or loan givers. So you see, it's just, we're just doing transactions and making our margin. So such kind of requirement put kind of concern even to the will-be investor that will come into your business. Two, the margin all over the world, the margin of transaction is between about 5–6%. But here in Nigeria, we're talking of 1%. So that margin is also discouraging to investors to come and put 500 million, and you are saying their margin is 1%, because 1%. I better put my money in bonds, which will give me about 27% per annum. I think that makes a better sense as an economist than to say I want to invest in a bureau de change. Also, in terms of reporting, the IT is huge. You have to integrate to the Nigerian interbank settlement system. You have to also integrate to the central bank server. You have to integrate to immigration. You have to integrate to IATA. You have to integrate to also NFIU for your suspicious transaction return. So you need a robust AML CFT platform. So all these are some of the challenges. And three, even the product, the sources. For now, you know, the bureau de change ab initio, the model was like, okay, let me license you, come to Civilian and window and get money. Yeah, we know it's a crude model, but it proves to be effective for some time, and considering our own peculiarity. Right now, there is no clarity on even the business model. in our meetings is that, okay, Bureau de Change, you have sources. One of the major sources that any Bureau de Change will rely on to do this business, to be honest, is the interbank. And the issue with the interbank, we realize anytime the CBN gave a directive, there is no enforcement. As we speak, the last directive of January to banks elapsed end of May, 31st of May. I don't think there are more than 2-3 banks that comply with the Central Bank of Nigeria directive that they should be selling FM proceeds to Bureau de Change operators. So,
and there's nothing you can do about it?
What can you do? In fact, at the end of the day...
can't you go back to the CBN?
At the end of the day, they will say it's the bank's discretion. So what we're saying, let there be a kind of calibration. We're not saying, yes, the central bank must continue to sell money to the BDC. They calibrate, maybe intervene on behalf of the BDC.
But sometimes we hear the CBN intervenes and sells to the BDC.
The CBN want to withdraw totally and completely from intervening into the CBN window. And we believe calibration is the answer rather than total withdrawal. And 3, for us, we are talking of visibility and price discovery. Yes, money requirement is important, but I think regulators, security agencies should give emphasis on reporting. We are now talking of over how many people that are operating on an unregulated space, and now because of stringent financial and prudence guidelines, if care is not taken, a lot more, about 95%, will now be operating under an unregulated space. So
okay, Mr. Gwadabe, before we get into those details, so what's going to happen now? You said just about 5% of your operators survive the recap.
Right.
So does it mean that others will merge or they'll just get off the space?
These are some of the appeal we are pushing to the central bank. Merger, especially in Nigeria, is easier in Europe. You see ownership succeed. In this our part of the world, people frown about coming together just because of experiences. So, but we are still advocating to our members that to look at the benefits. It's an industry growth. It's a reform. So instead of you, they said at all, Nahim bad. So let us come together. But the issue is timing. We don't have much time. Yes, we are given about a year. We have seen the industry standard industry practice is about 18 months. The what do you call them, microfinance bank, when they have to embark on their capitalization process.
The deposit bank is 2 years.
Yeah, deposit bank is 2 years. We are also talking of IT. IT structure is huge because the vision is for the upcoming Bureau de Change to operate in a digital space. All these are being put
So in your conversation, does it look like you're going to get a bit of extra time, even though if there's going to be an extension, we should have heard that before yesterday.
Right. I see. I want to appreciate the governor's passion, especially in collaboration in diversity. They have continued to engage to see where are the challenges. As yesterday, till about 11, 12 a.m., we are still discussing what is the best way forward. So we are not totally losing hope. We believe maybe before the end of today, the CBN may make an official pronouncement so that, you see, there is no reason to create tension because this is what will have happened, the unintended consequences. You create tension, you create disruptions in the market. Yesterday, we've seen some positive development in the parallel market. The dollar even getting lower than about 1.6 to Naira. However, this morning we are hearing the whole story have changed. The rates, the Naira is depreciating. So these are some of the unfortunate likely tendencies that will impact the market negatively. So I think it's good for all of us as stakeholders, as partners in progress, to look at what is best for our system and what is best for the sector so that we can move forward.
And I guess the other issue would be your source of inflow.
Right.
That the CBN is saying they want to totally stop and hand you over to the deposit banks. Meanwhile, of course, the deposit banks also have their markets. So are you also talking along that line?
Definitely. It's a huge concern because over time experience have shown there is a kind of, not a mistrust, so to say, between the banks and the Bureau de Change. were seen as competitors than complement services, and we are complementing services. And the advantage or the edge the Bureau chains have over any other financial institution in this country is their potent and effective tool for CBN policy transmission mechanism. It's just like an interest rate. If the CBN now want to say that, okay, they want to control inflation, they will say we have increased interest rate by 20 to 25%. The same thing with foreign exchange market. It has happened. Anytime the central bank made an announcement that today we are going to intervene in the BDC market, the whole country will shiver. Those that have hidden their money, those that want to speculate, will be checkmated. And that's one of the essence of Bureau de Change, to checkmate speculation, to checkmate holding.
But I mean, there's also the perspective that the BDCs are also used in the area of speculation even negatively, and that has also affected the movement of the value of the naira.
You see, that is a huge field. Yes, there are many players in that field. I can tell you, and it's good and important for people to know that there are licensed and unregulated players. I'm not discarding the unregulated players, because 1 out of 10 Nigerians patronize a Bureau de Change. That's the truth of the matter. So you can imagine, are we talking of over 20 million, 30 million Nigerians that have to do with a foreign exchange trader, irrespective of whether it's licensed or unlicensed. So it's understanding the reality, it's understanding the peculiarity, you understand. However, for purpose of categorization and licensing, there is difference between a licensed Bureau de Change and an unlicensed Bureau de Change. But it's all for us to have a holistic approach. We have provided so many solutions in terms of unifying the market. We are closer, we are retail end. So we know the needs of the market, and we know how the market operates. Not long ago, we even recommended that the central bank should allow intertrading between Bureau de Change, because we have seen there is an intertrading. That's the whole essence of interbank market. Why can't we have an inter-BDC market? Allow BDCs that have the capacity. Some of us want to really push the activity forward into a standard.
All right, Mr. Gwadabe, well, we thank you for being here today, but we do hope that whatever conclusion you come up with the CBN, it's extension, merger,
right.
For
those mergers have been undergoing now, acquisition have been undergoing, but it needs time. It's not something that you can just conclude in a day, so that's why it's taking time. And we are praying the CBN will look into our plight and grant us the extension.
All right, thank you so much, President, Association of Bureau de Change Operators, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe, for your time, and wish you the best.
It's my pleasure. Yeah, welcome always.
All right, let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll talk about cross-border payments. Right here on Business Morning. Stay with us.